Welcome to the reading workshop today. I need all eyes up here. We are going to work on our skill for the day, which we've been working on, is making inferences, right? And we've been working really hard making inferences from the Mix Up Files book. And we've been doing a lot of that by reading the text. But today, we are going to use pictures as a way to make inferences. Because not only can you use words, but you can use pictures to help you make inferences. But before we start, who can remind me and everybody else what an inference is? What is it made up of? I want you to really think. What makes an inference? Homer, what is it?
Background knowledge and text clues.
Awesome. Background knowledge and text clues. In case we've forgotten, what is background knowledge? What is it? Kate?
It's your schema.
It's your schema, right? So it's, remember that lint roller we talked about? It's every experience you've ever had right in your brain. Okay, so when we make inferences, we use our schema, our background knowledge, and text clues to come up with an idea that's not just spelled out for us, that's not just stated for us. Okay? So one other way we can make inferences, like I said, is by using the illustrations. And today, I'm going to show you how to do that by reading this book, Where's Walrus? Now, there's something special about this book. It doesn't have any words. So that means you have to use what you know, your background knowledge, and what you're seeing to come up with the story. Okay, so make sure you can see. I want everybody's eyes up here. And I'm going to talk you through what I think is happening in this book. So we can use pictures to make inferences about the plot, so what's happening in the story, about feelings that characters have, special things like that, okay? So this is called Where's Walrus? And let's see what happens. Just by looking at the cover, I can sort of tell there's a walrus, because I know from my schema that's what a walrus looks like, because I've seen one at the zoo. And it looks like they're at maybe some sort of restaurant or a diner. That's what I'm seeing, and that's what sort of just what I know a restaurant might look like. All right? It's by Stephen Savage. So, Where's Walrus? All right, so here's the first page. And it looks to me, so here's an elephant. Oh, there's the walrus. It looks to me like this might be at a zoo. And I know that because I've been to the zoo before, and I know kind of what to expect. I know there's lots of animals. They might be in cages. So it looks to me like we're at a zoo. And this might be a zookeeper. He's just hanging out. It kind of looks like he's sleeping, from what I can see. Ooh. This page, it looks like from our zookeeper's actions and facial expressions, it looks like he might be like panicked a little bit. He's jumping in the air, his hat has come off, and it looks like the walrus is escaping. So I could say that the walrus escaped from the zoo. Because those are the gates, and that was sort of, to me, that looks like an entrance or an exit. Okay. Let's see, we have the walrus. That looks like a statue. It kind of looks like the walrus is trying to look like a statue. And what else do we have? And we still have our zookeeper looking. So I can infer that the zookeeper is looking for the walrus because he's sort of, he left the zoo. Now these buildings, it tells me it's in a city. I know big buildings are in a city usually. And it looks like the walrus is trying to blend in with the fountain. He's trying to act like a statue. So I can infer that the zookeeper is looking for the walrus who is blending in. Oh, here we have another building. It looks like maybe a restaurant, sort of similar to the cover. And, oh, there's the walrus. He blends in with the people. And still, our zookeeper is looking. But it doesn't seem like he's finding it because he's looking away from the walrus, right? If he was looking right at the walrus, we could say probably he's been found. But from what I see here, it doesn't look like he's been found. Nope. Next, we have the zookeeper still looking. he's like just looking around. And we have our walrus trying to disguise himself as, oh, this sort of looks like a storefront window. Because I've seen a lot of storefronts, and I know these are maybe mannequins, because they just sort of stay posed. And he's trying to disguise himself as a mannequin, maybe. Pretty crazy. Oh, we still have our zookeeper. He's still looking around. This time he's looking around a building, and it looks like maybe construction, because I know that construction workers wear those yellow safety hats, and that's what these people have on. And they're using bricks to build maybe a wall or a building. I'm going to infer that maybe they're building a building. And we have our walrus blending in with the workers. I can infer that he's still doing a good job of hiding. Oh, we have another one. He's still looking, our zookeeper, still looking around town. And this time, it looks like he's blending in, here's our walrus, as a firefighter. So usually, when I see pictures of firefighters, they might be wearing a red hat like this. And this hose really tells me that these might be firefighters because they could fight fire with the big water hose. So now he's blending in with the firefighters. Oh my goodness. And now this looks like it might be a stage, and these might be lights. And here's a curtain. I know from my experience that usually stages have curtains. This might be a show. And from these ladies, it looks like they're dancers. They got their legs kicked high up in the air. I couldn't do that. And we have our walrus blending in as a dancer. And it looks like maybe he's following the walrus. So every time the walrus is at a new place, he's there. But maybe he just can't catch him. So I'm inferring that he might know where the walrus is, but he can't catch him. Oh, here we have another one. Our zookeeper's still looking this time. He is blended in as a painter. I can infer that he is now an artist because I see some people. And if you've ever been to New York City or a big city, raise your hand if you have. Sometimes, thank you, you put your hands on. You might see some artists in the park, and they're painting some scenes, some scenery, and people can buy the paintings. So now that looks like that's what the walrus is doing. But the zookeeper is still trying to get him. Oh. And here we have, this looks to me, I can infer that it's a diving board and this is a pool. Because from my experience, I know that's what a diving board looks like. And usually swimmers wear something like this with a cap on their head to keep their hair slicked back. And this looks like an audience, so maybe it's a competition. And it looks like our zookeeper's still looking. Oh, and now we have our walrus. I can infer that he's probably diving into the pool. Oh, and he dives in, and his cap, looks like his cap has fallen off. And let's see, the walrus is in the pool, so he's just finished his dive, I can infer. And these must be the judges, because I've been to some diving competitions, and I know that usually there's judges, and they hold up scores. And I know from my experience that 10 is usually the best score you can get. So it looks like he got a perfect score for his dive, and the zookeeper is shocked, and everybody's so happy. I can infer that the audience is feeling kind of excited, maybe surprised. They have their hands in the air, it looks like they're shouting. They're just really happy. And it looks like from this gold medal, he maybe won first place at the diving competition. We have people taking pictures, maybe for a newspaper. Oh, and over here we have the zookeeper, and he's going like this. And from my experience and what I can see, I think he's maybe thinking about something. Because, you know, sometimes people think like this or like this. So he must be thinking, yeah.
What happened to his net that he was catching the walrus with?
Oh, I don't know. Good observation. So where's his net? He must have dropped it somewhere. We can infer that maybe he left it somewhere, right? Awesome. Good observation. So he's thinking. I'm inferring that he's curious. He's thinking. And I can infer that the walrus is happy just from his facial expression, and he looks kind of proud. He's waving. Oh, and the last thing we have, it looks like we're back at the zoo, and there's a diving board now, and the walrus is diving into the pool, and the zookeeper is going like this, sort of like he's presenting the walrus. So from all that, he got a good idea. Remember, he was thinking, I could use this at the zoo. And now, look at all these people who are at the zoo. They're coming maybe to see the walrus. Yes?
At the beginning, the peacock was like closed and now it's open.
Awesome. Great observation. So Kate noticed that the peacock's feathers were closed before, and now they're open. And there's lots more people, so you can infer that people are coming to see the walrus and his act, sort of like a circus act. Okay? Yeah.
I noticed his little pool is bigger.
His pool is bigger? Yeah, they got him a big swimming pool so he can dive into it. Good job.